Hello, my name's Artemis, and we're all on our little journeys to develop into the people that we're truly supposed to be and the people that we're going to want to be at the end of the day as well. And it's a big time of change all the goddamn time for us. We're constantly learning who we want to be and how to get there, and that's a good thing. We should all be doing that. That's very important. You don't want to stay stagnated like you have been. But as much as there's a lot of benefits to all of this, there's also a lot of unintended consequences and side effects that no one ever really tells you when you actually start getting these results that you've been working towards so much. So that's what I'm here to do, because there is actually a lot of shit that comes along with this that you should be prepared for. It is inevitable, but at least if you know it's coming, it's not so much of a fucking shock. So yeah, let's dig into it. So the first thing that you're going to notice when you have put all of this hard work in to be yourself and to live your life authentically as who you want to be is that you're not going to compromise that for anybody else. That was something that you really put the effort in. You worked very hard for that level of self-confidence and self-realization. And sometimes being that person can be a little painful or scary to other people around you who haven't done that work themselves. And they can be a little bit scared of the way that you're being so open and happy because they're not. Because it threatens them, because they're still closeting themselves, they're still hiding from who they truly are. And they're a little bit scared that you being so out loud about it sort of reflects on them. Ultimately, it's their problem. Honestly, it's nothing for you to really change. But it is something you're going to start to notice when you are yourself and you're comfortable and you don't get embarrassed by things that you used to because they are part of who you are. And someone else says, oh, could you maybe tone it down? Could you keep it to yourself? Your knee-jerk reaction is, no. And fuck you for asking. Getting past certain milestones and having certain life experiences will give you a really good pattern recognition brain where you're able to see how these things work and how they go right and how they go wrong, and it will give you a really good sense of judgment. Problem is, that judgment will come into play a lot, and you will feel arrogant, and you will feel dickish, you will feel very exclusionary, because that sense of judgment makes you a very quick character study. And within a few short sentences, you can generally gauge someone's vibe because you've been doing it so long now. And very quickly you realise, that person's fine, but they're not for me. And then suddenly the wall has been put up, and potentially there was a chance for them to work their way in, but you're probably correct, and they actually ain't for you. And that is a good thing. But it does sometimes make you feel like you're being very judgmental, that you're being very mean, but in reality you're just being selective and realistic about the sorts of people that are going to be on your wavelength. And now you're just really good at figuring out who those people are, and who, more importantly, they aren't, and not wasting your time on the ones that are not worth wasting your time on. A lot of social situations we see today tend to be just an elevated form of show and tell. Everybody's trying to be the funniest person in the room, trying to show off with the memes and shit that they know, and it's just generally people trying to put across what they think is the best representation of what people want to see. And you've likely done that. You've likely played that game and realised that there are no winners and you don't want to play that game anymore. And that if you have to impress other people, you don't really feel the need to do it anymore. You don't actually feel the need to look at them and go, wow, you're someone I need to impress. You are yourself, you are happy being yourself, and if they need you to impress them, you're like, no. I know my self-worth, I know what I'm worth, I know that people should enjoy my company if they are right for me, and if you don't and you're not, that's fine. I'm happy to just vibe on my own. And that does make things a little isolating, that does make things almost standoffish sometimes, but it means that essentially if everybody's fighting for attention, you're more than happy to fucking let them, because you no longer crave that attention. You dealt with your demons that made you want to get that audience and that spotlight, and you fucking defeated them. And while it doesn't feel great sometimes, it is actually a success. One of the sadder parts that you're going to learn is that it's actually quite isolating to work on yourself and become a better version of you. Because sadly, not everyone's going to have that level of awareness, and not everyone's going to do that work. Some people are happy, stagnating, and never changing. And while arguably I would say that's a bad thing, that's coming from my perspective, and if it works for them, then it works. But it does mean that you're going to see a lot of people that are quite far behind you on the path. That doesn't mean that's a bad thing, and that's not a judgment on them. Perhaps they're just not on the same path, and that is okay. But it is going to limit just how much you choose to invest in certain people. And you are going to think, well, till you actually prove that you're going to catch up to my level, I don't really trust that you're going to. And it feels arrogant, it feels very selective, and honestly, fine. If that's how it feels, that's how it is, because sometimes you need to be that, which is a recurring point in this video. But no one really prepares you that doing the work on yourself will isolate you, because not everybody wants to do it on themselves either. So if you're like me, you likely started your journey into finding a social group with, honestly, a fear of abandonment and a desperation to have people around you to give you that validation that you can't give yourself. And generally, you're very scared of people leaving, so you bend and you break and you twist yourselves and you let them cross your boundaries. You let them break your trust. You let them lose your respect. And it's fine as long as they stick around, as long as they stay. You'll tolerate all kinds of shit that you should never have tolerated, as long as it means they didn't leave you. But eventually, you stop being scared of people leaving you, because the wrong people do. They do leave you, and you realize that it's not the end of the world. In fact, it was actually a really good thing that they left, because it made room for the right people to join. But it also means now that trust and respect are the very big, huge indicators of connection to you. When people lose your trust, when people break your respect, you don't really have a way for them to get it back. They have exposed themselves, and you have learnt who they are as a person. And that means that the genie doesn't go back in the bottle. That means that, unfortunately, if you break that trust, it's broken for good. Sometimes a thing gets broke, can't be fixed. It means that you're selective. It means that you have decided you have standards, and that is a good thing, and that generally you should be enforcing those standards. And sometimes it feels mean. But ultimately it means that you're just separating the wheat from the chaff and saying, nah, I'm good. If you need to walk away from my life, that's fine. You're surplus to requirements. The final point is that you're going to see yourself in a lot of other people, and you're going to treat them how you have treated yourself. Sometimes we don't treat ourselves all that kindly. They say that everyone else is a mirror. They hold a mirror up and make you deal with previous versions of yourself. And it's something that I've learned. A lot of the times I'm annoyed at someone, when something they do pisses me off, it's because it's something I recognize I used to do, and I don't tolerate it in myself. And I can't go and beat myself up. I can't treat myself like shit even if I feel like I want to, but it comes out on that other person. And it's a sign of something else that you need to work on, but it's going to be a constant reminder. You're going to see people doing the things that you no longer do, and you're going to actually take it a little bit personal. You're going to feel like, well, fuck you. Do better, be better. And it's a little unfair, but it's something that you should be prepared for. Essentially, it's a good thing, because it highlights the next thing that you need to work on, and you should always be striving and working. But if I was going to tell you that it's going to be easy and comfortable, I'd be lying, because sometimes it's a slap in the face. I hope that wasn't all doom and gloom and that you understood some of it. I do generally think this is a very important thing to notice, because you're going to see this a lot. When you tend to get to a certain point in the road, you realise that that's not everybody's road. Maybe not everybody's going to get there, and that actually some of the growth that you've done will help to serve as a reminder that not only do you not want to be that, but you won't tolerate it in other people. And sometimes that causes friction, and honestly, sometimes it should. But knowing it ahead of time definitely helps that bitter pill go down a bit easier, even if that is a bit of a weird innuendo. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to watch some other stuff that I do, there's little links and whatnot on this link tree, which you could definitely have a look at. And if you would just like to generally help support us, help me continue in my quest to be everybody's fucking life coach, I guess, then you can join the Patreon. We got lots of exclusive on there. We got a Discord server. We got an exclusive video series that will not be going onto YouTube ever. Sorry about that. Not sorry. Go and pay and see it. It would be lovely, and you'd help us just generally live. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this made some sort of sense, and if it didn't, well, sue me, I guess. Bye!